Hi, everyone. Carter Krishnauer for Beyond the 90 and the Kingfisher. The Kingfisher on Beyond the 90 have just returned from the Miami FC defeat against New Mexico United. Best performance of the season thus far in USL Championship play. That's best performance of the season thus far for Miami FC, but still a 1-0 loss. Disappointing result, but better signs from this match. It is the fourth successive loss to start the season in league play. Obviously, I have a win in Open Cup in there, and then we'll have another go in the Open Cup Tuesday night at Lockhart in Fort Lauderdale, or Chase Stadium is now called, in Fort Lauderdale. So not the result we wanted, and it's very difficult to start with 4 straight home matches and lose all 4. And now have lost 13 successive games in the USL Championship. So that's not good. But there were some better signs today. I think Bolu moving into midfield helped give some solidity to that midfield. You also had, because of the way the setup was without Sebastian Blanco, and you had Bonfiglio playing as a 9, and I thought he had a very good game again. Milano and Vasquez out wide. Neither of those two guys had particularly good games, but still, the shape was different. So you had space for Alan Gavilanes to run in behind that front three. He could find pockets of space. He could help create, sort of the way he did in the last 30 minutes against Tampa Bay a week ago in that loss. So what we had then was an opportunity for Miami FC to score on multiple occasions in the first 30 minutes. Hit the post once. Gavilanes didn't finish a chance, and then there was a rebound. I'm not sure if it was Vasquez who missed that opportunity, or it might have been Romero, actually, that got the rebound, missed it. Reminiscent of a lot of what we saw last season, right, when Miami FC would have gilt-edged chances and miss. The young kid, Akaloke, who's got the start at right back, I thought was pretty good for 45 minutes. Fitness issues, kid hadn't played a minute yet this season. I think it's the first professional appearance of his career, as far as I know. So that was good. That was a positive. Nice to have another option at right back. With Jonathan Ricketts moving to left center back. Dalton Knutson back in the team as a center back. Bolo, as we mentioned, moves into the midfield. Mitrano, again, fairly solid at left back. I want to pull up the statistics here. Let's see. How were the stats? Miami FC had 6 shots on target and had one that agonizingly didn't sneak in at the far post and hit the post. So that would be 7. So 7 clear goal scoring opportunities, but of course didn't score. Bill Hamid made a couple nice saves. He was called into action more in this match than he had been in the last few, and he made some good saves. Possession was 35%, and that's frustrating. And then the thing, I don't see it here, but I have to find the pass accuracy stat. But we were really poor in the final third, especially with that last ball. I would think our pass accuracy was somewhere around 70%, or maybe even a little lower for the whole game. A lot of bad giveaways. Still kind of some sort of miscommunications, guys not being on the same page. Here's one frustration I have. We have a lot of guys, a lot of players on the bench. So Bent comes on today. Obviously, he's a player that used to be in Inter Miami's academy. He's looked pretty good when he's played this season. Ricardo Rivera, Gerald Diaz, two Puerto Rican players, 2 players that have played for the Puerto Rican national team. Veron, Seba Veron's son, and then Zarate. You have some options on the bench. There's more depth than last year, but you don't have a player. Last season, for whatever reason, Antonio Nocerino did not like to start Luisinho. But you had a player in Luisinho for all his other limitations, and he was not at a USL Championship level. He couldn't play 90 minutes. There were all other issues that I want to get into with him. But he was lightning in a bottle at times. You could bring a guy like that off the bench. He could dribble past guys, right? Obviously, very technical player, very quick technical player. I don't see the quick. I see technical players on this Miami FC team. We see a lot of technical players in midfield. We see guys who can shoot from distance, which is good, testing the keeper. And obviously, Tambakis had a really good match tonight for New Mexico, made a number of big saves, and I was disappointed a little bit in New Mexico's what I saw from Zalelem, a player I've talked about before, who was a big deal when he was at Arsenal, right? We thought he was going to be a big star for the U.S. men's national team. Now, 10 years later, really kind of struggling even at this USL championship level. So, he Gavilanes was able to get in behind him, Bonfiglio in behind him playing as a 6, and Jalen Lindsay and Seymour were both kind of out of position a lot for New Mexico. But in spite of that, you don't have the energy and the guys that can really maybe beat one or two men off the dribble, other than Gavilanes, on this team. And I think that that's something we're missing. Now, maybe Brandon Bent can be that guy coming off the bench, right? Again, a player who's come out of Inter Miami's academy, played a season in the Fort Lauderdale team, the B team, and then moved to FC Cincinnati. So I think he's a player I like. Maybe he's that guy. But you're looking for someone, particularly in these sorts of matches. This was a stretched match. This was a match where New Mexico's superior athleticism and ability to take advantage of those mistakes and score on the counter, or have the ball in the final third because they had those guys that could run, willing runners. Really important part of counterattacking football. That's something we're missing at Miami FC this season thus far. But I don't want to be too negative. It was a better performance. It was definitely, you're looking for signs now. 4 losses to start the season, all at home, which means we're going to play 4 more away games than home games the rest of the season, at least in the league. That's not good. Robbie Nielsen, the coach of Tampa Bay, before the season, my colleague James Knowles, who here at the Florida Soccer Report, who also obviously does RBLR Sports, he and Carlos interviewed Coach Nielsen and asked him, hey, you're starting with 4 consecutive away games. And he said, yeah, that's tough, but we're going to have 4 more home games than away games for the stretch of the season after that, which is a positive. For us at Miami FC, it's the opposite, right? We're going to have 4 more away games than home games. But maybe, honestly, with this club, this turf at FIU, which is a bad turf, it's a wide pitch, maybe, it'll be good to go to San Antonio in 2 weeks. And maybe that'll be that it's a grass surface. It's a nice wide pitch, but maybe we'll find something there. And that'll get us going. Before that, Open Cup in Fort Lauderdale on Tuesday, critical match. Quite frankly, I think personally for a lot of us, probably more important than any league match that we're playing. So given the opposition, given what's at stake, given it is Open Cup. So Tuesday night, we'll be back with a wrap-up on the Kingfisher. And if you can make it to Chase Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, hope to see you there. Open Cup, Miami FC against Inter Miami at Chase Stadium in Fort Lauderdale on Tuesday.